Welcome to entrepreneurship.com. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with Kim Long of Prestigious Models, one of today's most famous Asian modeling agencies. So Kim Long isn't just a model. She's an entrepreneur who has founded three different companies in the past 10 years. So first off, thanks for being on with us, Kim. I really do appreciate it.
No, thank you so much for your patient pagement. I know that it was very eventful. But I'm really happy that we're here. So we're here now. So awesome.
And I'm really glad to have you on. I recently saw you were on Forbes. You were in Forbes, and I got pretty excited to have a chance to talk to you as you're an incredible female entrepreneur, and I think we could all hear more stories of those in the news. So we're very, very happy to have you on. But, you know, from what I hear, it's been three businesses in 10 years, from entrepreneur to model, and now back to entrepreneur. So tell us a little bit about your story and how it all got started pre-Prestigious Model.
Okay. Well, I have to say that everything started when I was actually an event producer first. I was organizing parties through the nightlife scene. I was throwing parties when I was 17 years old. It catch on for like the next 3 years. And then I was very successful and great at that. And then brands, liquor sponsorship, were kept asking, hey, do you have any Asian models available? And then it really all started off, oh, okay, I don't have any Asian models, but let me put together some Asian girlfriends. And it really all started as that. It was just for fun, and then there was an opportunity, and I went after it. So that was how I've been doing Prestigious Models as well as Empire Society for the past 10 years. And then it was just last year, that was the 10-year anniversary, we wanted to expand into the fashion market. And, you know, we decided to anchor our business, open a studio called Image Powerhouse here in Manhattan, and here we are now, 12 years later.
Very cool. So how did you actually, were you actually a model before you started this modeling agency, or were you more on the management side and then kind of got into the modeling yourself?
Yes, I was actually just managing. I mean, I was always there. I had to oversee the models as well. So it was just kind of like, okay, instead of me just standing there being a manager, why don't I dress just like them and put makeup on just like them? So it was just, I was one of them, and it kind of just grew upon that. And I couldn't believe that I looked back, I had fan base, and I was interacting with them immediately. So it just really all happened.
Okay, and how did this work with your family? I mean, from what I understand, you had a very traditional upbringing. Was your family very open to just entrepreneurship or modeling in general? You
know, entrepreneurship is something that is really embedded in my family lifestyle. I mean, I am an entrepreneur at heart, and my parents, you know, they always owned businesses since day one when they came over to America. And I always saw them work really hard. So they developed businesses from scratch, and to me it was just very natural that I was going to be an entrepreneur as well. Now, in terms of with the modeling business, it wasn't an easy step to basically say, hey mom, I'm going to be in the entertainment industry and I'm going to be a bikini model. But eventually they knew that regardless, I was going to work hard. I was driven. I was going to go get whatever it is that I needed to do. So they supported me, and I'm very blessed for their support.
Did you actually have a chance to actually go to school and follow that traditional kind of path before becoming an entrepreneur?
Yes.
Or you kind of thrown into it and
yes, absolutely. I have a high school. I actually have a 2-year degree, which is my associate. And, you know, at that time, I was contemplating, should I go on my 4 years degree as well, because I was throwing parties and I was very, very successful at doing that. So, you know, at that stage, I was like, you know, do I go upon that, or basically just kind of stick onto my entrepreneurships? And I think it was just at the end of the day, I just went for it, and I stopped at my 2nd year. I graduated, got my associate degree, and then continued to throw events and continue on with my modeling company.
And has that really been beneficial? That if you look back in terms of what you're doing today, like, was that degree really worth it, or would you kind of change things if you had an opportunity to go back?
You know what? I wish I would have finished my 4-year degree and continue to still do what I do, because I think education is extremely important. My parents didn't really like they were just like, whatever you do makes you happy, go get a job, as long as you're making ends meet, that's all that really matters to them. They didn't really push me for my 4 years degree. I wish they would have, because I think it's extremely important. If you can do it both, then I think you should do it. And yeah, so I mean, if I would have just looked out through, then I mean, because you're an entrepreneur at heart, it's either you have it or you don't have it. So I really wish I would have finished my 4 years degree, though, I have to say.
And when you think about the past 10 years, right, you've now been kind of running these companies and gradually building new ones. How has entrepreneurship evolved for you from the beginning stage to today? And what does that word really mean to you now that you've been in it for 10 years?
You know, to me, I think entrepreneurship, it's about creating opportunity. If you have an idea, you go for it. You have a vision, you do it. And you do it with no plans. It's just like, I have a passion, I'm just gonna go for it. And it had evolved in so many different ways for me. I mean, obviously, look at me, I've built 3 businesses. So now it's the key, my next 10 years is that, how do I take this entrepreneur idea and build a Fortune 500 company? So that it can sustain each other is really what my next goal will be. But I think entrepreneur, it really has to start from like go-getter. You have a vision, you go after it, and you're not afraid to step out of your boundaries.
So is now the goal of everything you've worked on to kind of like the vision, the long-term vision, to be a Fortune 500 company? Is that the ultimate kind of goal?
Well, definitely my ultimate goal is to see the Western and East Asian culture evolving into one market within the fashion and entertainment industry. That's my overall mission statement. And you know, how am I going to do that? This is really where I'm looking, learning to put together a team, a system in place. And yeah, definitely hoping to build to be, a Fortune 500 company, if possible. But connecting the East and East Asian culture into one market is really my key goal right now.
Okay, so let's go back a little bit and talk about, your modeling agency and how you kind of started. I'm sure, you know that many females today kind of want to be models, and many of them have very large dreams, and that's not really aligned with the reality of the market. So, for yourself, what are some things you did to really market this agency differently than others who have come and gone or not really have been full-time agencies?
I would have to say, in terms of from a modeling marketing standpoint, there is so many opportunities for them to do it now, like especially social media. There's so many tools, blogging, YouTube, Facebook. You need to be able to just know and identify what is your brand and what is your end goal. And most importantly, what are you in it for? Because there's so many people into the modeling industry all for wrong reason. It's not really what they want to do. So you have to really know coming in with your end goal. And I think for models and modeling agents to really market, you need to be able to know how are you going to differentiate yourself from the rest. You can't be doing what everyone else is doing. You need to follow up, and networking is key.
Okay, and so for you, when you were building prestigious models, how did you really get your niche? I understand that you were big in the import community, is that correct? Like in the car thing?
Correct. Yeah, well, I guess, how did I... Basically, maybe it was the timing, to be quite honest with you, because I think, Asian models wasn't really they didn't really exist until the import scene 10 years ago. So it was probably at the right time, and I kind of did that, and I kind of just always networked with other import car show scene, and I became the model director. I was providing more models, but I was always stay focused on providing Asian models. And then that was when I expanded into the gaming industry, into the poker industry, which predominantly there are a lot of Asian people that follow that industry as well. So it kind of had to make sense of is there a needed market for Asian models in that industry? And I basically kind of just focused upon that and just grew my brand around what the Asian audience was following, the different trends of the agencies.
And at what point throughout that process did you really understand or see or catch a break, I should say? Was there any particular moment you can think back to your journey where you were kind of, doing what you did, but at some point something happened, and what that thing was that kind of gave you this household name around Asian modeling and putting Asian cases in the import scene?
I would probably have to say when I branched out into the poker industry, because Procedures models started off as import models. We were calendar models going around selling calendars at these import car shows. We did that for about maybe 6-7 years, but it was like,